Hey, welcome everybody. In this video, I am going to go through the Gmetrix Revit architecture next generation certified user practice. So we're going to go through practice exam 1. I'm going to try to go through the first 10 questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this next generation tab, and then I'm going to go where it says practice exams. I'm going to do exam 1. I'm going to click on start. I already have some tests that I was practicing with, so I'm going to go to resume test here, but you're probably going to want to do a new test. You can either, when you start a new test, you can either do training mode or testing mode. I would first recommend starting in the training mode, because that you don't have to worry about the time limit in that mode, and if you get stuck, you can use the help icon at the bottom. But anyway, I'm going to resume this test, but we're going to start from question number 1. So we're gonna get this pop-up menu come up. My version of Revit is gonna be Revit Architecture 24. I'm gonna hit select, and then my question. So what I would do is I would kind of drag the question box over to the right or left, and kind of let it take up half of your screen. And then, so the first question says you want to open up this arch base. So I would click this folder here. I don't have Revit open yet at this time, so let me drag this over. So we're going to open up the arch base. I'm going to double left click on arch base. While that's loading, I'm going to close this box to get this out of the way. We'll wait on Revit to load. You could grab a Snickers while you're waiting. Also, the time is running, so that's really not fair, is it? Okay, then what I would do is I would drag this to this side. So I got kind of a dual screen action. I would recommend taking the test if you can on the biggest monitor possible. If you take it on like a little laptop monitor, it's a problem. But anyway, so it says we're going to open up this file. We're going to go to level 1. So I'm going to double left click on level 1 here. And then it says set a view template to structural framing plan and accept all defaults. So over in the properties where you see the view template, I'm going to click on where it says none. You want to change this to structural framing plan. I'm going to apply whatever the default is. We're going to keep that. Hit OK. And this is what is the length measurement of the north exterior foundation line. So let me just kind of zoom out a little bit, pan it over. So I'm just going to click on this back wall here, right there. And you're going to get this dimension, 67 feet, 11 3/4. So 67 feet, 11 3/4. I click that, hit next. Got that one right. So then you're going to go to continue. And then it says we're going to open a CO1 view scale. So I'm going to close out of this. Make sure you don't want to save it. So does it say you want to save it? No. And then I'm going to go to open. And so in this, you're going to click on your Gmetrix templates is where it saves those files to. So here's all our test files here. So we're going to open up CO1 view scale. So click it. We're going to open it. And then it says select which scale creates room labels that do not overlap with other rooms. So we're given 1/16. So the view scales are down here. So I'm going to click on 1/16. We see that this kind of corridor here overlaps. So it's not that one. Then we're going to go to 1/32. Where are you at? 1/32 right here. So this is definitely not it, because those overlap. Of course, they're going to make you waste time by putting probably the correct answer on the very bottom one. So 1/8 inch where you at? 1/8, this one. So, okay, that one, none of those overlap. So the answer is going to be 1/8. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to go to continue. And then it says open arch base. We had that open before, but I'm going to close this, save it. No. I'm going to go to open arch base, open. And it says select the window legend view. So under the views here, we're going to go to where you see legends, window legend. I'm going to double left click it. So we get this, and then it says which detail level setting matches the image. So let's go to medium. So the detail levels are this down here, this next to the view scale. So we're going to start with medium. It's not that one because this has a single line and these are double lines, right? Let's go to coarse. It's not that one because that has no lines at all. And then we're going to go to fine. Again, I put the correct answer on the bottom to make you waste time. So fine, that's what this matches. So I'm going to click on fine. Click on next. We got it correct. And then it says open the arch base, which we already have this drawing open. But we're going to go to level 1 floor plan. So double click level 1. Set a view template for the site plan. So under the view template here, we're going to click on where it says none. And we're going to go site plan. I'm going to hit, it says accept all the defaults. So apply. Okay. And then it says, what is the scale value? So the scale value, if you look up in the properties, you'll see the view scale, and then below it, you'll see scale value. So it's 1 to 240. So this is going to be 240. So that's the answer for that one. We're going to go to next. We're going to go to continue. Then we're going to open up basic walls RVT. So I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to go to open basic walls. Where are you at? Right here. Open. And then floor plan level 1. So I think right there, but I'm going to double click it anyway. Level 1. It says add a perimeter floor generic 12 inches to the building using the following properties. So we're going to add a floor. I'm going to go to architecture, floor. And we're going to use the floor generic 12 inches, which is already set for that. The offset up here, that's 0. And then make sure where it says extend in the wall, checkbox is enabled. So this is already checked up here. And then it says using the north elevation view. Okay, so but first we want to put our wall in. So I'm going to go up to where you see draw, click this pick walls. Let me zoom in here a little bit and get this centered. So I'm going to pick these outside walls. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then I'm going to hit the green check mark. It's going to create our floor. And that says using the north elevation view. So north elevation, here's our elevations. I'm going to double click on north. And then it says, what is the distance between the top of the wall and the bottom of the floor? So that's going to be the top of our wall here. And then the bottom of my floor, I'm going to grab this little dot and drag it down to this bottom of the floor here. And then read what that dimension is, 13.6. So your answer is going to be 13.6. If you're not sure, you don't like, this is what training mode is good for. If you're not sure how to do it, then down here where you see help and click the little light bulb, and that kind of gives you some instructions on kind of how to go about getting that question correct, or kind of helping you out anyway. So let's go to next here. We're going to go to continue, and then we're going to open up the align mirror array. So I'm going to close out of these, not going to save it. Go to open. We're going to align mirror array. Click open. And then it says using, and I can't read. Create a callout box around the vertically aligned chairs. So here's our vertically aligned chairs. I'm going to zoom in here. So the callout box is located in the View tab, and you'll see where it says callout. I'll click the arrow underneath it. I'm just going to create a rectangle here. So basically, you're just going to left click and drag around these vertically aligned chairs. Left click again to place it. And this is what is the scale of the callout box. So I'm going to double click on this kind of circle, double left click, and that'll take me to that the view. So the scale value, if you look under where it says view scale, underneath it says scale value 1 to 24. So that answer is going to be 24 is our scale value. And then click next. And then we're going to open up the arch base. I'm going to close out of this. Close out of this. Save it. No. Open arch base. Where you at, arch base? There you are. And then it says in the north elevation view. So I'm going to go to north elevation. Elevations north. Double left click it. It says at a level that sits 8 feet above level 2. So if I know that level 2 is 10 feet, and I need to create a level that's 8 feet above that, the answer is going to be 18 feet, right? But so you don't really have to do this, but for the sake of doing it, we're going to create a level. So I'm going to go up to where you see architecture, datum, here's a level. I'm just going to drag a level across. I'm not worried about the dimension right now. So where it says 14, I can just click it and put in 8. And then over at the right, you can read what that says, 18 feet there. So I know that's 18 feet. Click next. Continue. All right, let me close out of this. Close out of that. Now we're going to open up the families, which is here. Open. Wait, am I in help? Oh no, I'm not in help. I thought I had the help button on. Anyway, open the families, and in floor plan level 1, do the following. So I'm going to double click floor plan level 1. Select all the double doors. Change the door type to double flush, 68 inches by 80. So you really don't have to select all the double doors, but so here's your double door. There's one. I'm going to hold the control key down. I'll select these other ones. I also wonder, you know what? Let me waste time here. Let me try another method. If I go to my door schedule here, double click it. Oh, there's a lot. Double doors. Does it tell us if they're double doors or not? Okay, it does not. Anyway, okay. So I was just testing something out. So we'll go back to the first method I was going to use. So I'm gonna click this double door, select it, hit Control. Here. Really, that's all you need to do. And then it says change the door type to double flush 68 by 80, which it already is, right? But then we're going to duplicate the door. So I'm going to go to Edit Type, Duplicate, and we're gonna name it Wood Teak. Wood Teak. And then we're going to change the door material to wood teak. So under door material here, where it says door panel, I'm going to change it to wood teak, which is kind of at the bottom. So wood teak is here. Hit OK. And then it says, what is the R value? So I need to go back in this wood teak here. So the R value is where you see stain color, RGB. The R value is 252. So let me cancel out of these. 252. So the answer is 252. Click next. Continue. Let me close out of this. Let me open up the RPT thingy. Open. says unhide all the elements on the first floor. So I'm gonna double click on first floor here. So to unhide all the elements, I'm gonna, where you see the light bulb down here, reveal hidden elements. So what I wanna do is I'm just gonna select, left click and drag and select all of these. Right click, unhide in view. Let's select elements. There's still some things that are not. So let me do this again. Right click, unhide. Let's do category. That should have got everything. So now I'm gonna click the light bulb again. Zoom in here. Oh, I remember this question. So to be completely honest, if I were to try to answer this question without looking at the help, I would have got this answer wrong, because I think the question is, it's kind of vague in what they're wanting you to do. But let's read it. So it says, we unhid all the elements on the first floor. It says, and in front of the car, place a 21-foot wall with a height of 4 feet off the right garage wall. Okay, so what I would do is go to architecture, click on wall. It doesn't tell me which kind of a wall to place, right? It just says place a 21-foot wall. So I would click on whatever wall is already there. And in front of it, I would, let's see, I would kind of, it says off the right wall. So I would click here, drag across 21 feet. 21 feet, which is probably going to be where that line is. Right there, left click again. So there's my 21-foot wall, right? And then the height is going to be 4 feet. So I would select it. I would say my base constraint, base offset, is 4 feet off the right garage wall. But so we're at my unconnected height here. I would make this 4 feet, right? And then you select it and you look for the volume. So the volume is like 53.38. And you notice there is nothing even close to that. So what the question doesn't tell you is what they want you to do. There's two things that threw me off. So if you click on the help down here, it's going to tell you that you want that wall to be an interior, a residential interior wall. The question doesn't tell you that, right? And then for here, and then if you were to try to say, okay, so now what's the volume here? 31.50. There's no 31.50, right? So we kind of did everything that it asked us to do. But what you have to do is click this wall, change this dimension to 21 feet, right? And now your volume is 31.17. So yeah, there's a lot of things in that question that they don't tell you to do. So if you get that question right the first time, I mean, you're amazing. Anyway, 31.17. I'm gonna click on next. Hit continue. All right, so question 10, last question of this set. So let me close out of this. Close this one again. All right, so open the basic walls Revit file. Open basic walls. And then it says open the 3D view. So where you see views, we're gonna double click on the 3D view. It says we're gonna remove the south wall. So I'm just gonna click on the south wall, press delete on my keyboard, bam. It's gonna give you this warning, okay, yeah, whatever. And that says, what is the number of fixed 36 by 48 inch windows remaining? So instead of sitting here trying to count, like figure out, okay, what size windows are what, I would go to your schedules here, click on window, double click on window schedule. So we're looking for 36 by 48. So you can see all of these are 36 by 48. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10. So there's 10 of those remaining. Click next. And we got that correct. So there's the first 10 questions. Now, when you start this test, you might have your first 10 questions might be different than what I get. I think they might change depending on which, it's probably not going to be the same order every single time. So I'll eventually get to all 30 questions here. So just hope to see you back in the next video. All right, peace out.